you.
Great. We'll go right ahead and get started. As a reminder, please use the raised hand icon if you have a question. But we'll go right ahead and get started with Alex or Joe Chats.
Hey, Frank. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Joe. You? All good?
Always good, always good. Brought out the big coat again, so always happy, you know.
That's okay. We're in Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Frank, just looking at, the last week and the result against Atlanta previously, what does this team need to improve on in the immediate future to get to where at least they're coming back and winning games? Obviously, 4 points from the previous matches, but, the result on Saturday was a bit disheartening.
Yeah, but that's one game, Joe. We had 4 points going into that match. So you have to look at that. And I felt that some individual mistakes, the game got out of us at 3-0, then it becomes a more difficult game to come back. Other than that, for me, it's also the injuries that we got into that match. So I think consistency is one thing. And then, and I think that, without the ball, I think we have to find a way where we can limit some of those mistakes, but because obviously the amount of goals, and I know in 2 games it's you take the 7 goals, 3 on one and 4 on the other, it's 7 goals. But I think find that consistency, and I felt that game early on. If you look at the game again, really look at it, in the first 25 minutes we have really 2 big chances to get on track and score the first goal. So we had 2 to 3 really good chances. 2 in transition, once we picked the ball in front as they try to play out of the back. And then the goals we give up, I just think that we just need to be better in moments like that. We have 11 guys even on the first goal behind the ball, and we give up a goal, and then I think the second and the third goal put it out. So I think just the consistency and the mentality really to I think that as a group, it's not just 1 or 2 players, as a group to in moments like that, just to make it really hard for without the ball for teams to break us down and stay more compact, and then grind out results. And when we get the chances, we have to put the chances away, because I think that also gives the team confidence.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Tim Hotze, Men in Red 97.
Hi, Frank. How are you doing today?
Yes, great, Tim. You?
Good, thanks. So, first question, the team again gave up a goal off of set pieces, and that's kind of been a trend over the past several seasons. The team brought in a set piece coach this year to try to improve. I'm assuming like the set pieces on both sides of the ball. What do you think the team needs to work on to get things to work better?
I think we're doing the work in training. It's about doing it and being focused and executing on the pitch during the game. I mean, the stuff, even this year, we brought a set piece guy. We did stuff also the previous years. It's just a matter of, defending is about mentality, man, and being really focused and concentrated in moments like that. And I think there's nothing more than to it. You can play man to man, you can play zone. It really doesn't matter. You can always find ways to where you can try to create opportunities on, depending how a team plays. We do the same thing. So I think without the ball, it's about mentality and being really focused and everybody really, making sure that they do their jobs. And, when we're there to help out. So when it's not just about one guy, it's a whole team effort and mentality in moments like that. And just a mindset that we're not going to give anything away. And then on the other end, it's stuff that we do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of focus during the week on, on both faces, on defending and attacking. And when the moments come, then it's execution, it's quality of delivery, it's attacking the box with a mindset that I'm going to, when we have the ball, to score, and on the other end, not giving anything away. So it's stuff that we do and we work on, and there's nothing else I can tell you, but just get back on the training pitch and keep doing it and working and giving the guys confidence. And then it's that mindset and the mentality, the leadership on the field in moments like that to lift everyone up and make sure that everybody's focused.
Thanks. And kind of quick follow-up. One other issue that came up in that game was just the number of injuries to players, including several leaders on the team. So I just wanted to check to see how everyone was doing and who looks like they would be available.
It's a good question, Tim. It's a good question. I think that's the one, I think more than anything, you lose you lose that game, it kind of gets out of, control at the 3-0. And then, we were forced to make moves and push the game and in certain way, being at home and hopefully looking to get that one goal back and climb somehow and turn into a positive result. And I think that, the 2-0, I mean, giving up the third goal was difficult, but then you walk away with those injuries. The only thing I can tell you right now is that, I think Gutman has been training. I told you last week that he was in and out in different exercises. This week he's been, full out training. So that's a positive. The guys that had the injuries in the game with Guti and Shaq, they're doing stuff on their own on the side. They haven't integrated at all with the team. We'll see tomorrow. But that's definitely a question mark on both those guys because of just soft tissue injuries. And then Federico Navarro is more longer term. There's nothing structurally, which is good news, to his knee. Didn't happen, but I mean, I think he'll be out a little bit, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And then Gaston with the hamstring, you're looking anywhere to 2-3 weeks. The only question mark right now is just with Guti and Shaq, and see, they're doing individual work on the side, how they are tomorrow, and see how we can push them to see if they're available, to be on the roster for the weekend.
Okay, appreciate the
It's
update.
a little bit difficult for us right now,
Yeah, no, that many losses with an MLS size roster is rough. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but it's not an excuse. I think the guys have worked really hard. The other guys, we just have to find, a way now to approach this game and definitely come out with a much stronger mentality. We got to have a lot of pride on, from the last game like that, and we got to come on the field with a lot of energy and commitment, and and I feel do whatever it takes to get a result. And the guys have trained hard, and I think we have to, just manage with the guys that are available, and hopefully we still, I'm still counting, every day there's still time for Saturday for Guti and for Shaq at least to be available for some time. That would be a huge help for us.
Get it.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Alex Calabrese, also Men in Red 97.
Hey, Coach, how are you today?
Good, Alex. How are you?
I am good. Okay, we're going to shift gears a little bit here because this
Okay.
weekend, Zach Thornton's going into the Ring of Fire. I first of all wanted to ask your thoughts. I know we all know how important the Ring of Fire is to this club. What were your thoughts when you found out this was going to be happening and how much Zach deserved it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think it's a great honor for Zach. I think to honor someone for what he's done on a playing level. Obviously, if you look at his career, it speaks volumes for itself. There's no need for me to say anything. I think the guy's been he's a legend here in the club. I think he's been involved in every championship that the club has been a part of, and that's one thing. What he's done in the field is and off the field. I think for me, the values that he has as a person, as a human being, are the values that reflect this organization. And he's a first-class individual, and his career, like I said, I think he should be in the Ring of Fire for that. But I think just as a human being and as a person and the values he has, it's just a great human being. And for me, I think you build a lot of relationships. You play with a lot of people. You have a lot, you know a lot of people, but it's someone that, for me, that I consider a friend. And you don't say that for, you know a lot of people and you're friendly, but he's someone that I consider a close friend. And I'm extremely happy, a well-deserved honor for him, and he should feel proud for this recognition. And I think I'm glad that he's here now working with us, and we can honor him that night. And it would be great if the team comes out and gets also 3 points for him.
For sure. And he's the first person to go into the Ring of Fire in 9 years. Do you think that there should be more players in the next couple of years that should go in? And are there any that come to mind?
There's a lot of them that come to mind. It's just something that internally that the club has to discuss and see how, is it every 2 years? It's not. I think there's a lot of great players that have left their mark that have represented the club on and off the field in a tremendous way. And, I mean, there's a lot more from the 98 team for me that should go in. And obviously other players that have put the jersey that have had great careers, some great players that, hopefully that we can discuss internally and find a way that we can honor some of those guys in more often.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go last question to Joe Chats.
Thanks, E, and thank you, Frank, again. One last one on Zach. Of course, Frank, one of the things that I think is crazy that he's able to pull off is talking to, the teenagers he works with and the grown men he's working with in the same way and still seem to get the best out of all of them. What have you learned from working alongside Zach and the way he just approaches the day-to-day, bringing energy to the training pitch?
Yeah, the energy, but also his work rate. He's always prepared. I mean, I know when we're on the road and we're playing games, and normally a lot of we get in really late at night. He's right away breaking down the tape because he has meetings with the goalkeepers the next day, and he's always prepared. He's always pushing his guys to improve, but he has a way about him. Obviously he's got tremendous respect from the goalkeepers because of his playing career. That's the one thing, but then also his knowledge and how he's able to make players better and goalkeepers better. And I think that's the most important thing of all, because you have respect as a player, what you've done, but then if you can improve players, if you don't know how you can make in this case, the goalkeepers better, analyze their mistakes, help them in certain ways, you can lose that credibility, but he brings both his knowledge of the game, his ability to make them better, but also for me, it's just his work rate, the way he works and his commitment is first class, and he's always positive, and it's great to have, because I'm also a positive guy. No matter what happens, we all put a lot into the club, and we have now people here that really care, that have put the jersey on, and we love the club. We really hurt when the club has setbacks like last week. I don't sleep well. Zach doesn't either. There's a lot more former players that are involved here now, and we take it to heart, but we come the next day and then try to find solutions in a positive way. And he's always a very positive guy, always smiling, always positive energy, and that's also great to see. But on the field, he's 100% professional. He comes in to every day to make this guys better, and he has really high standards, which is great because he fits in with exactly what we want to do.
Thank you, Frank. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Take care.
We'll go right ahead and get started, and we'll start with Alexander Calabrese from Men in Red 97.
Hey, Coach, how are you today?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good. So it's been about 2 months since we last spoke. That was right after it got announced you were going into the Ring of Fire. I want to know, in those last couple of weeks, last couple of months, who's been reaching out to you to congratulate you before you get inducted this weekend?
I think Frank said Jesse Marsh, I think, called today. Obviously Lubos, who's in, I see CJ a decent amount. Just a lot of people that left messages on that video that you saw on the day that I found out, have all reached out and congratulated me and wished me the best.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Joe Chats from On Tap Sportsnet.
Thanks, E. Thanks, Zach. How are you? Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Of course. And Zach, in terms of you've been around this organization for a long time. I don't want to make you feel old, but I was 2 when you first arrived here. So just your longevity with this franchise, with Major League Soccer, you are a fixture of this sport and this league. I'm curious how you're feeling, over 20 years later since you started, just being a part. You are a part of history and a positive part of history.
Well, yeah, I mean, my first team was the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars, 96, 97, the beginning of the league. And to be back in Chicago in 2024 to see the growth of the league is amazing. I guess some of the biggest things would be infrastructure. I mean, we trained at Keene College in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And now every team has an amazing training facility, an amazing stadium. The quality of coaching has grown tremendously. So, I mean, the league is only going upward and only getting to a higher and higher standard.
And if I may ask about your own higher standards, bringing it to the higher standard and elevating the level of play, how important has it been for you to give back to the players in this league? Because we can look at the roster of players you've worked with. They've all gotten better and become very good players after working with you.
Well, yeah, once I got done playing, I coached a little bit. I volunteered at my alma mater, Loyola University. Then I was a associate head coach at Villanova University. And then I was in DC United for 7 years, at Houston last year, and back in Chicago. It's great to see the growth of players and goalkeepers when you're working with them. Over the long haul, you don't get too up, you don't get too down, you just kind of stay the course, and you trust the process. It's really satisfying to me to see the benefits and the growth of keepers that I've worked with.
Thank you, Zach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Tim Hotsey from Men in Red 97.
Zach, and again, congrats on being inducted. Looking forward to this weekend. So Frank talked about leadership and the leadership that you provide and how you're able to get the most out of the goalkeepers that you work with, across ages. I was wondering how you think something like having the Ring of Fire as part of the organization, sort of like a team Hall of Fame, is useful in helping you kind of like shape and mold the values of the organization in that next generation that you're working with.
I think it's more like a feather in the cap, a little cherry on top. But because the way I view it is, I first have to earn the trust of the goalkeeper, so they trust me, and then it's a group effort. We work together. It's not a dictatorship. That's the kind of the process that I take when I'm working with goalkeepers. And then maybe some of the younger ones, that are a little too young, actually don't remember me playing, and they can see that, oh, well, coach, he might know what he's talking about. He's done this before and he's done it at a high level. So yeah, I think it's definitely helpful for sure.
Okay, we'll go back around. Oh, Alex, I see your hand is back up. We'll go to you.
Yes, I wanted to ask a little bit more about Chris Brady in general, because this season there's been ups and downs, of course. I want to know what growth you've seen from him since the start of this year, since it's his second season now as the number one.
Well, like I say it all the time when I'm talking about Chris. Chris's ceiling is there's no limit. Chris can go and play and do whatever he wants to do in the sport. what I like about Chris this year is his presence and maturity. He's definitely matured. His presence in the goal, the shot stopping, all the goalkeeping stuff. I mean, that stuff has improved as well. But I like how he handles himself on the field.
Thank you. And Joe, do you have a last question?
Yeah, Zach, I'm sorry, I gotta ask you more about yourself on this one. But I'm curious, when you get these life moments, you get these honors, who do you think of that helped you get to this? Was it a family member? Is it coaches from growing up? Who is that first person that comes to mind when these amazing things come in your life?
First, I mean, I thank God because without him, none of this is possible. But then I think about my parents. Um, my dad was an athlete. My mom's tall. She wasn't an athlete. She just wanted me to make sure I was having fun. But yeah, those are the first two people that come to mind. All the sacrifices they did, to get me to this point, and driving me to games, and always supporting me, always being behind me. So at first, I always think of my parents.
Of course. And are you comfortable saying you were right to not play football as your dad commanded?
I think so. I think everything worked out all right.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you so much, Zach. We really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Thank you. Sorry I was late.
No, you were right on time. Thanks. And everyone else, thank you so much for joining us. We'll appreciate it. And we'll go right ahead and get started. We'll start with Alex Calabrese from Men in Red 97.
Hey, Andrew, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to ask, first of all, because being there in Philadelphia in the first game of the season, about 90 seconds in, you go down injured. I want to know, after all the excitement about coming back to Chicago, what were your emotions in that moment, and what has the comeback been like for you?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if you were able to see my emotions on the field, but that kind of summed up that whole situation. I thought I had a really strong preseason. Being back with my hometown club, and I felt like I was in a good spot to kick off the season, and then unfortunately I just made a sprint and popped my hamstring. That's just how it goes sometimes. And then yeah, the recovery process was a bit longer than I originally expected. I had some issues with it throughout the process, but the medical team here helped me through it all, and we pushed through it, and now I'm back healthy and ready to help the team kind of get results back going to the way we want them to be.
Yeah, and now I guess for the first time in your career, even though you've been with the Fire organization before, this is your first time as a Chicago Fire player in front of the home fans. What's that excitement like for you?
Yeah, it's gonna be, a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I remember going to Fire games growing up and always wanting to put on that red jersey, and I haven't been able to do it yet, but hopefully this weekend it will be my first time, and hopefully it's the start of a long and successful Fire career for me.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Joe Chats from On Tap Sportsnet.
Thanks, Z. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate the time. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, thanks. Curious, we've every time Frank references you, he always speaks about how important your role is going to be within this team, and seeing the results being as they've been, I'm just curious if you're ready for that type of high pressure. It's going to be about Andrew helping us take it to the next level. Are you ready for that at this point of the year?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, not even at this point in the season, at this point in my career, I want to take the next step to be a key part of this team. And, thankfully they brought me in with the belief that I'm able to do that. So now it's just about showing my qualities that, I was able to show during preseason and, kind of just start. I guess this is kind of my first game playing, so start the season well for me, start off strong and just, ride through the whole season and help us have a successful season.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Tim Hotsey from Men in Red 97.
Andrew, thanks for taking the time. So leadership kind of has been a theme today. Frank mentioned it. We just talked to Zach Thornton a minute ago before he gets induced into the Ring of Fire. Was a theme with him as well. And you've been asked to be a leader on the field. How hard is it for the team to kind of bounce back mentally after a tough loss? I know you weren't able to be, a part of the team on the pitch last week, but just in terms of the leadership you provide and getting guys ready for this week after a tough loss like that.
Yeah, I think, first off, it was hard for me to kind of come in and give that leadership role when I got hurt so early on. Being new and then not being able to play, it's hard to do that. But since I've been back in training, I've been trying to be more vocal, kind of take on that role of getting the team together and doing the things that we know we're able to do. I think with what happened last weekend, it's a game that should never happen again, especially at home. And we know the level that this team can be at, and this weekend is a perfect opportunity to show not only the fans but ourselves that we're able to do this. We're a team that has good quality in this league, and we just need to start showing it for 90 minutes every single game.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll go to Alex Campbell from CHGO Sports.
All right, I think I've got myself unmuted now. All right, thanks, Andrew, for taking the time. Wanted to just kind of circle back, and you talked about the emotions of that game in Philadelphia. I'm sure all the emotions that you go into that debut game with, then transitioning a few minutes later to the reality of the injury. What do you think Saturday will be like if you're able to get on the field? What do you kind of anticipate that moment, those emotions feeling like after the recovery and kind of getting a second chance to make this start as a member of the Fire?
Yeah, I think, first off, when you come back from injury, it's almost like Christmas morning. You go through something that no player in their career really wants to go through. No one likes being injured. It's tough mentally, tough physically. So for me, I kind of feel like it's another debut, like you said, and I'm just super excited. I want to get out there. I want to kind of get the feeling back on the ball playing in a game, but then also I don't want to waste any time of growing into the season. For me, I want to hit the ground running. I want to show what I've been showing in my career, but I want to be able to do it in a Fire jersey. So it's super important for me to get out there and start fast, start strong, and contribute to the team as much as I can and as fast as I can.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will go back to Joe Chats.
Thank you, E. And Andrew. The injury return aside, is there something special going against a former club? First time you're going against Atlanta since they traded you last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice seeing old friends and old teammates. I had a lot of great relationships with that club. Personally, I had a lot of success at that club as well. But it's always nice to go against your former team, and hopefully we can come out of there with 3 points. You know, I know they have a fantastic team and a bunch of fantastic players, but we also have great quality and we're playing at home. So, you know, anytime you're at home, you always want to push the game, you want to push the tempo, you want to be more energetic. And you know, so Saturday, that's kind of all I'm focused on, is just playing at home and kind of taking it to them.
Thank you. Good luck, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Tim, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, quick question. Just considering it, your first team, you know, debut at home. Is anybody going to be in the stands cheering you on?
Yeah, I'll have some friends and family. You know, my brother and sister will be there. Some of their friends, my girlfriend, her family will be there. My parents, unfortunately, aren't going to be there, but they'll be there the game after. But hopefully throughout the season, especially when the weather changes, you'll see the Gutman section, you know, maybe 100 strong every game. That's the goal. You know, throughout this whole injury process, I've been getting a bunch of texts asking when I'm going to be back. They want to come out. They want to support me. They want to see me play. So it's kind of been a little frustrating coming home and not being able to play in front of my friends and family. And then, you know, I don't know if my grandparents are going to see this, but I've been on my grandpa to come out to a game. He's never, him and my grandma have never seen me play live professionally. You know, so this is something this season that I'm going to be pushing them to get out there to Soldier Field.
Yeah, looking forward to having them there at least once.
Yep.
Okay. Alex Campbell, your hand was up and I see it's down now. Do you have another question?
Nope, I'm good. I did that when you noted that Tim's hand was up, and I realized I had not taken mine down.
All right. Well, that's it for today then. Thank you so much, Andrew. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.